Korean cinema is one of the remarkable film industries in the globe, with some first-class directors like Bong Joon-ho, who recently won Oscar for Parasite, and Kim Hee-deok, Park Chan-wook, Lee Chang-dong, and many more. They also has classics like Memories of Murder, etc. Being a cinephile, I love their films. It's been a year since I started watching Korean films. As I said, they are making unbelievably great films, and I thought, why not to make videos out of it? So I started this podcast called Korean Station, in which I'm trying to witness the greatness of Korean cinema by recommending two good films in each episode of this podcast, and I am damn sure this series is going to be very interesting. So keep following this series just by subscribing to this channel so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video in this series. And I am Hari, let's get into the video. First on the list is Taxi Driver, a beautifully crafted film and my favorite film in Korean cinema. Actually, I stumbled upon this film accidentally, but at the end I felt this is a gem of the first water. So basically the story is there's a taxi driver named Kim who is struggling to pay rent for his house and he has many financial problems like every middle class guy. But one day when he is having lunch in a restaurant, he heard a taxi driver talking about a mad cab passenger who's ready to pay $4 million for just traveling to Guangzhou. And Kim got shocked and decided to pick the customer instead of him. So he picked the customer pretending that he was the taxi driver who was arrived. Then they went down to Guangzhou. But the taxi driver don't know that the customer was a journalist from Japan who came here to address the matter that the military is decided to kill their own people who's protesting against the government. So this is the story. The story takes place in 1980. The location of this film is very well customized, and if you are just starting out Korean cinema, then give it a try. And I promise after watching this film, it will be one of your favorites. You can clearly witness a glorious cinematography in the film, and the plot is very interestingly made. Character arc of Kim is very natural, and acting of Kang Ho's song is remarkable. I need to give a shout out to this particular scene. I am slave of this scene. And thank you to the director Jang Hoon for making this thing. He also made films like Frontline, Rough Cut and many more. You will see the review of that in the next upcoming episodes. Art department is a major plus. The set, the background, everything makes us get into the 1980s. And the director of this film tried to convey the dictatorship of Korean government in the 80s. This film is based on a real incident. If you have time, check out the video that is linked in the description, which is about the incident that happened in 80s. It is very unpleasant to see. Next on our list is Gangsta the Cop the Devil. This is a critically acclaimed film in Korean cinema. If you don't believe me, go check out the reviews. The story runs between three characters. The first one is a gangster, second one is a cop, third is a serial killer. The story is, one day the gangster is driving the car to home. While going, a car driver hit his car. So the gangster came out of his car and the car driver apologized. The gangster said it to him that it's okay. Suddenly the car driver stabbed the gangster with a knife, and of course this guy is a gangster, so he fighted. But due to the injury he can't fight well, so the car driver escaped with the car. And the next day the gangster is in a hospital, and the people who is working for him is trying hardly to find the car driver who hit him. And then a cop came to the gangster and asked what about working together to find this car driver, and the gangster accepted. So these people is going to find the car driver. In this film, the gangster has a very badass character, which I like the most about this film. It's the only film where the police and criminals work together, which is pretty enjoyable. And the only underwhelming aspect that I feel is the screen space of the characters can be little increased, but it's only my perspective. And the actor Ma Dong-seok, who starred as Don Lee, has a huge fan following in India, Korea and America due to his full-fledged action films like Outlaws, Unstoppable. Everything has a great action sequences which makes him the John Wick of Korean cinema. He is currently starring in Eternals by Marvel, and cinematography of this film in the particular car chase sequence is good. And this film had an enormous box office collection in Korea, nearly 2 crores USD. I feel it's a bit underrated in IMDb, and this is also based on a true story. In 2019, it's officially announced that there is going to be a remake of this film by Sylvester Stallone with Ma Dong-seok reprising his role. And the climax of the film is so badass. And also the truck scene, which is so psycho-ish, you can clearly witness it when you watch the movie. So that's it. You are ready to kick off Korean cinema with any of these two films. Comment your feelings about this video, and if you are a Korean fan, make sure you smash that like button. So meet you in the next video. Until then, peace out.